million a year. Who is worth that? Right. You mean to tell me there's nobody else that could sit there and run that corporation, only that person in all the world, that somebody deserves it? Now, you can say, well, don't ball players and don't Hollywood actors. There's a difference. You know what the difference is? The Hollywood actor, actress, or the ball player, they draw the crowd. And so if you're a hotshot shortstop with the New York Yankees or a major quarterback in the NFL and your team is winning and the people come in and they pay the big bucks, so the money is there and out goes the money to pay for them. And these people sitting there in these financial empires, it's all they do is turn over money. Well, what are they really giving to the economy? What is the special expertise that they provide? They're not lawyers, they're not doctors, they're not engineers, they're not architects, they're not really businessmen, they're not creators, they're not inventors, they're not, I don't know what they are. They just turn around money, and they take money constantly. I am opposed to bailing out those kinds of financial empires. That I don't see. I don't know if you gentlemen agree with that.
Well, I do think there are a certain segment of society that should get that amount of money, and one of those people are sitting next to me. You and the things that you have done that we have not gotten to, and other doctors. I mean, let's think for a second what it is Dr. Wecht has done and what other doctors do. Doctors save lives. Lawyers make sure, the good lawyers make sure that justice is done civilly or criminally. So yes, they have the right. If we're going to spend millions of dollars on one person, I say doctors, I say attorneys. The baseball players and the entertainers, medium on that, even though I'm into the business. But people who actually save lives and contribute to humanity, they should get it. Wall Street, I'm sorry, Wall Street, you shouldn't get it. Let's go to the next caller, and then we have a question from Annette and Lenell, and then if we have time, I have a very intriguing question for Dr. Wecht. We also have a question from Nancy Wehe, but let's start off with Annette's question, then Lenell, then Nancy.
Okay, Dr. Wecht, did you do the autopsy on JonBenet Ramsey? And if so, what is your professional opinion of who killed her?
I did not do the autopsy on JonBenet Ramsey, but I have studied it a great deal. I was consulted by different people, attorneys, news media, and I wrote a book, Who Killed JonBenet Ramsey. In my opinion, there was no outside intruder.
No.
And you'll grow a third ear or a second nose before a second intruder is found. This was a great travesty of justice. This is a situation in which money and power and influence prevailed, and justice was not served.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Wecht.
And now, Lenell, would you mind if we take Nancy's question next?
Go ahead, Nancy.
Dr. Cyril Wecht, you know, when I was following that JonBenet Ramsey thing, I was wondering if that was not, if I can remember, if that was maybe it could have been somebody that the family knew, or like it might have been an inside thing that happened maybe within that family, or I don't know if it was, you know, they revealed. I mean, I was just wondering.
Well, I do believe it was a family matter, if I may use that phrase. I do not believe that there was ever any third party. I do believe that the death of the little girl was not intended. I think it was a game that had been played before, a game with sexual overtones, and the game this time went awry. Specifically, without getting into all of the pathological and somewhat sordid details, the rope around the neck, part of the binding phenomenon, can lead to a dysfunction of the lungs and heart, and then quite unpredictably, unexpectedly, then things may just go sour, and the next thing you know, you're dealing with cardiac arrest and cardiorespiratory failure, and death ensues. So this is what I think happened there in that home on that evening.
Wow. Well, we thank you for that. Now, Dr. Wecht, would you do us the honor of answering one of these 3 calls, and then we're going to go directly after the call. We're going to take Lenell's question, and from there, possibly answer the next call. And I do want to make sure that I get at least one more question in, because it's kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, well, you keep,
I'm keeping
raising
you
my
in suspense.
suspicions. That's
Well,
right.
You know, I'm a fan
yeah.
of the suspense series.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
used to be on. But
I'm
you'll do the
I'm
call.
happy to. Whatever you want to do, Al, please, with the calls,
do
by
it.
all means. Sure,
It's
please.
your turn. You got to get the call.
I got to get the call.
You got to get the call.
What do you
Dr.
want me to
Wecht.
do?
Just say caller, you can speak.
Oh, call or speak.
Hello.
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 Happy New Year to Dr. Wecht.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you, ma'am.
Today I have a good question. Was you in New York today, earlier this morning?
No, I was on television in New York and nationally, but I wasn't there. I do these national television hookups from downtown Pittsburgh Videotech, and I go there, and then they just plug me in. So Larry King last night, the CBS morning show this morning, and here with Al and Lenell and Annette tonight. You know, all the big shots. So, but here I am live. The others, I was not there with them.
I have one more question for
Yeah.
you. Did you do an autopsy on Jeff Travolta, the one that just passed away? You know, the one.
Travolta, Jet Travolta. No, I did not do the autopsy. That took place in the Bahamas. I have reviewed some things with some people, but I was not involved with the autopsy that took place in Freeport in the Bahamas.
Okay, on a
Happy
quick
New Year's,
follow-up.
Nancy, down there. I see you.
All right, well, we're going to move forward. Thank you for the call. Dr.
Another-
Wecht, we're
Oh,
gonna
no,
get
I don't know.
to
It's
the
up
other
to you.
call.
Another call? Yes, please.
Yeah, well,
go.
we'll get to that after
Oh,
the follow-up.
no, go ahead then.
That's
Go
all right,
ahead,
that's all right. Hey,
Okay,
you know,
Lenell,
if you want to get the call, get
whose
the
turn
call.
is it, Lenell?
It's Lenell's turn.
I just wanted to ask a quick question.
Lenell's turn. We'll get to you.
Most people think with dealing with the situation with Jet Travolta, they've heard bits of information about seizures occurring with Jet. Now, to most laymen, they don't realize that seizures come in different stages. Now, there's different types of seizures. So keep in mind, our viewers and the audience, that when you hear that word, don't let your mind stray away the fact that there are 2 levels of that kind of disorder. So it's not always something that can make you demise. So I wanted to ask Dr. Wecht what those stages are and how they might affect someone in a case like this.
Well, Lenell, you're quite right. There are many different kinds of convulsive seizure disorders. The most common and well-known is epilepsy. We do not know the cause yet of epilepsy. Then there are other seizure disorders which may follow a brain injury or may follow a brain infection like meningitis or encephalitis. They may follow some other kinds of hormonal or endocrine imbalances. And then seizures, there is a petit mal and there's grand mal. Those are the, petit mal, you may not even be aware that somebody is going through petit mal. They may be sitting there and you just think they're off in a daze or somewhere. Grand mal is the more typical kind of movement which seems to have, no purpose or rhythmicity or so on. And there are still other kinds of seizures too. The important thing is that people who have these disorders can live a basically normal life, but they have to be careful about their medications. They have to see their doctors and be checked with some frequency and regularity, especially with a child.
Right.
It's up to the parents. And as the child grows older, you see, the condition may change and the medication required may change. Not only the kind, but maybe the quantity and so on. So that's important. In the Jet Travolta case, we do not know how long that boy lay there in the bathroom.
Correct.
And that's a tragedy.